Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm Isabel and this is my library. In today's video, I bring you my reading journal update for the month of November. November was a pretty packed reading month for me, believe it or not. I was able to read 10 books, guys. I'm really excited because that's more than I've read in a little bit. And I think it was a pretty busy month and I was still able to read a lot. So I am pretty excited to share with you today everything that I read in November and, of course, to update with you my reading journal. It's bittersweet opening my 2025 journal. As a lot of you have seen, if you, of course, subscribe to my channel, you have seen that I've already started moving in officially into my 2026 reading journal. So I only have this update and one more update to go. So I'm a little bit sad. It's a little bittersweet, right? Because, we're completing another year. I am excited about moving into my new journal, of course. But by the same token, I'm also a little bit sad that this journal that I love so much is getting wrapped up. But that's just how it is. If you're new to my channel, thank you so much for being here. I love my reading journal. I do a lot of reading journal content, so please make sure you subscribe to my channel if you end up liking what you see. And I have a new series up on my channel of how to start your reading journal for 2026, and people have really been liking that video, and a lot of people tell me that I have inspired them to do their own reading journal, and that makes me very happy. So yeah, basically guys, today's video I'm just updating my reading journal. But again, if you want my step-by-step tutorial on how to set up your reading journal and how to get ready for 2026 with your reading journal, please give that series a watch, and I'll make sure that I link that down below so that you guys can have access to it. And yeah, today we're just going to go ahead and update this journal, and I'll show you all the wonderful things that I was able to read this month. I did have one 5-star. I had quite a few 4.5 and 4-star, and I did have a lot of 3-star reads this month. But by sheer volume alone, I'm excited that I was able to read quite a few things. So the first thing I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to update what I read, and I have everything here next to me, and I will walk you through all of it after I'm done. So I'll speed you through this part and then catch you up. right, guys, so we are back. And this month, again, I did read 10 books. I read Walking Practice by Doki Min, gave it 3 star. 3/5 by John Bircher, gave it 4 stars. The Raven Boys, the graphic novel by Maggie Stiefvater, gave it 3 stars. D7 by Philip Fracassi gave it 4.5 stars. The House of 12 by Sean Davies gave it 4 stars. Cycle of the Werewolf by Stephen King gave that 5 stars. It was great. The Hitchcock Hotel by Stephanie Roble gave it 4 stars, although I might bump it up to a 4.5, but for now it's a 4. We Love You, Bunny by Mona Awad, 2.5 stars. Then Murder Mystery Word Search Puzzle. I normally don't really rate those. I talked about it on my wrap up as a separate entity, didn't really rank it. But for the rating of it on Goodreads, I did give it a 3 star. And lastly, The X by Frida McFadden, which I also gave 3 stars. All right, so now it's time for me to look at the genres of everything that I read and go ahead and start coloring that in. And I'm officially at 95 books read. Oh my gosh, that's so exciting. 95 books. And we are currently in that first week of December. So I can tell you already, I've read 1 or 2 things. So I definitely think we're going to hit at least 100 books for this year, which I'm very, very happy about. So I'm going to go ahead and color these in with my Flare Tip dual brush pens, and I'll speed you through this and then get you caught up. All right, guys, so I went ahead and updated this. So the first 4 that I marked down were 4 horror novellas that I did read for a special vlog. I'll have that linked down below in case you haven't seen that horror novella vlog, but it was so much fun. And that included basically D7, Cycle of the Werewolf, Walking Practice, and The House of 12. Then I also read the Murder Mystery Word Search puzzle book, so it's a game book. Then my literary fiction read was 3/5. Then I read We Love You, Bunny, which is horror. Then The X by Frida McFadden, which is a thriller. Then I read the graphic novel for the Raven Boys. And lastly, The Hitchcock Hotel, which was also a thriller. So I've read a lot of horror this year, some thrillers, but I think I've mostly read horror this year and I've enjoyed it. I've had so much fun reading horror books. All right, so let's see if we get to mark off anything in 25 and 25. Yes, I read Cycle of the Werewolf. Awesome, and I gave this 5 stars, so let's go ahead and mark this. Awesome. Great. And let's see if there's anything else here. No. So far I've read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of the 25 and 25. As you already know, I always carry it over to the next year, so I will add everything that's left over here into my 2026 journal. Let's see if I read any of these. Okay, I have not. These were my 13 books that were originally left over from 24 and 24. And now I've read 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. So I think there's maybe 9 left over, I think. Maybe I'll read one more, who knows, but these will also carry over. And let's see if there's any in here. I did read The House of 12, so I could update that. Awesome. 1, 2, 3, 4 stars. So I've only read 2 from here. So that means I'm probably going to carry over 13 or so into the next year, and I'm okay with that. That's perfectly fine. All right, guys, time to update our alphabet challenge. So let's see how many of these letters I was able to cross off. I will add the titles down, and of course, I will speed you through this part. All right, guys, so as a lot of you know, if you watch my channel, I redid this alphabet challenge for next year. I decided I needed more space. I kind of walk you through that in some of my setup videos. I went from having like 7, maybe I think it was maybe 8 spreads for my alphabet challenge to having 1 spread. So now for next year, I have 2 spreads, and I've already gone ahead and designed that in my new journal, and it's great. So I'm really happy with the new layout that I picked. And of course, you can find that in my setup video, which I'll link in the description box below. But yeah, this is very cluttered. It feels like very cluttered. And who would have thought that I would have read already 9 books with the letter W? I mean, mind-boggling. You know that W is such a popular letter for me this year. Um, so yeah. All right, so it's time for us to decorate our shelfie. So I'm gonna go ahead and take out my Tombow markers for this. You guys know I love my Tombow markers. I do have a full review of my Tombow markers up on my channel if you are curious about them or you've ever wanted to get them. I highly recommend them. I think they're so wonderful. And yeah, you can have a look at my entire review of these. I swatch every single one of them. I have the complete set and they're awesome. I really, really recommend them. All right, so let's do the shelfie and I will come back. Of course, I'll speed you through it and I will come back once I am done. I updated my Shelfie. Right now I have 8 spots only. So if I read more than 8 books now in December, I'll have to maybe draw a couple books here out of place. I did ensure that for next year I make more space in my Shelfie. So I added a fourth row and it came out really nice. I'm very, very happy with how my 2026 Shelfie came out. All right, so let's see if I can go ahead and update any of these. So the word with or never. Don't really have any of those. None that I can think of. Thing, a memory word. Let me see. Thing, I don't have one. Never or with. Okay, so none of those. Do we have anything with eyes on the cover? We do not. Okay. And I'm so excited because Kayla from Books and Lala did confirm for us that Buzzword next year is going to have the word challenge and the cover challenge. So I am very excited about that for next year. I did not read any of these. I am already done with my rainbow challenge. So excited about that. Did I read any of these? No, I did not. I've already updated this. Haven't really read more from here to update. Okay. Have I read any more here? No more here to update. Nothing on my Christie challenge so far. Nothing else here. Let's see if I read anything here. No, I did not. All right, so time for us to mark down the years of publication. So let me find those highlighters and then we can go ahead and get started on this. Okay, so I might have to add some more here if I continue reading some books that are new releases, which clearly I'm sure I did. All right, guys, so I'll go ahead and speed you through this part and then I'll bring you back. right, guys, so I went ahead and added all my dates. The only new one I was able to get was 1985, which was basically for Cycle of the Werewolf, Stephen King. Everything else was a duplicate. And I've talked about this before in my setup for next year's journal, that I wanted to change the way I did this because, unfortunately, or fortunately, however you want to see it, I do read a lot of new releases. And although I want to read older works and I'm interested in reading a lot of older works, and I do read a lot of primarily Agatha Christie's that help me fulfill all of these older dates, I'm still not reading a lot of these things. So we see a lot of these like spaces kind of wasted, and then I have to duplicate a lot of them. So I am going to be changing the design of this. I have not yet decided or committed to how I'm going to do it, but you'll see that in an upcoming video. Right? Nothing for the scavenger hunt or the game of bookish things, and nothing with Jenna's book club or Reese's book club to update. I did read, though, The X by Frida McFadden, so I am going to mark that I did read that. That was actually my only Frida book, therefore my only Kindle book that I can mark down. Oh, this is tough to get this highlighter. And I think this might be the wrong highlighter. I need another highlighter. Hold on. Let me search for that highlighter. Where is it? Might actually be here. Is it this one? It is not this one. I do need to find that one to see. All right, so that's all I did read on my Kindle Unlimited TBR. Nothing to update for my scratch off card game or the anticipated releases, but I did read We Love You, Bunny, so I'm going to go ahead and update this. Unfortunately, it was only a 2.5 star. I haven't had a lot of luck with the Midnight Society book club. I know I'm missing some. I didn't read all of them, but the two that I did read weren't great, 3.75 and 2.5, so not great. My bestie book club, nothing to update just yet. Nothing to update for my Read Across the World challenge. So for my 5-star reads, I do have to print out one. So this will be Cycle of the Werewolf, and I will do this in my end of year wrap up. And then this will also be Cycle of the Werewolf. Okay, so I will do that. Let me go ahead and write down November. That will be my pick. And I'm excited for this, guys, because I do have to pretty soon update a whole lot for end of year videos and end of year lists and my bracket now. So let me go ahead and just put that this is going to be Cycle of the Werewolf. That seems to be the only thing I need copies of. I'm going to go ahead and label my November already. And then I'll pick my December, and then I'll have to pick my fourth quarter winner. And then that will fight with tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow. And that will then eventually fight with You Are Fatally Invited, giving me thus my 2025 book of the year. And I'm excited to see where this ends up going. And I'll be able to narrow down my top 10 books of the year. So let's see how that goes. All right, so now let's go ahead and update November. Let's see how we did. So I have not yet finished 11/22/63. I did finish Cycle of the Werewolf. I did finish We Love You Bunny. I did finish The X. I did finish D7 and House of 12. I did not read Matchmaking for Psychopaths or Futility. And then let me go ahead and add everything else that is not on here. I did read The Hitchcock Hotel. I did read The Raven Boys. Graphic novel. I did read 3/5. I did read the murder mystery puzzle book. I did read Walking Practice, which I don't have here. The House of 12 I have there. Cycle of the Werewolf I have there. D7 I have there. So there should be 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. What? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, let's go ahead and highlight this. So read this and 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 this. Perfect. All right, so let's see if we got bingo. A book with a yellow or orange cover. So I definitely think Walking Practice should get me that. I think this counts. So we're going to put for that one, let me get my pinkish reddish pen. Actually, I want to do it in this color. Okay, so Walking Practice. A book about family traditions or holidays. Don't really have that. A book with a thankfulness theme. I read horror. What do they expect? I don't have any of that. A book set in a cold climate. So I have a cold climate, I think. Maybe. Cycle of the Werewolf. Yeah. So we'll do Cycle of the Werewolf. A book recommended by a friend. Walking Practice. Quite a few friends have recommended that. In particular, shouting out Caitlin from Spill the Reads recommended this. So Walking Practice, but I normally try to have different ones so that I don't use the same ones double. A book written from the perspective of a child. Do we have that? No, we do not. A book you heard about through social media. So many of them. And a book published this year. So many. So let's put We Love You, Bunny. And a book I heard through social media about. I'll go ahead and put 3/5 because it was a recommendation from Celadon, who kindly gifted me this book. And I think I just got bingo one time. Oh no, two times. I'm always blinded by this. One bingo, two bingos. If we don't want to count walking practice twice, then just one bingo. But awesome. All right, so let me very quickly set up my December TBR. So there are quite a few things I know for sure. I will be finishing 11/22/63. I know that's going to get finished. I also know I'm going to finish Blood on Her Tongue, which is carrying over. And I know I want to read Pride and Prejudice. And I am currently in the middle of The Perfect Child by Frida McFadden. And I know I have a bunch of my Christmas novels that I am working on. So I have talked about in my channel that I am working on a special Christmas vlog where I read Christmas books, and I am drawing them out of a hat, and I am drawing numbers out of my stocking, and I am unwrapping all the books that I wrapped, and I'm currently working on that vlog, so there will be quite a few Christmas books that will get added to this, and I am very, very excited. All right, so now let me go ahead and fill out my stats for November. So I'm going to go ahead and speed you through it, and then I will walk you through everything. All right, guys, so I read a total of 2,290 pages, a total of 10 books. 4 of those were novels, 4 were novellas, 1 was a manga, and then the other one I'm missing there is a puzzle book. My average rating for this month was a 3.6, which was not great, but not terrible either. So it was not my lowest, but it was not my highest either. Next, new to me authors. There were 6 of them. 3 of them were familiar to me. The one that is missing here is basically the puzzle book without an author. 1 new release, 1 Kindle read, 1 audiobook, 2 things I read tandem, audiobook and physical combined, and 7 of those I read purely physically. Winterween has passed. Let's see if we have anything here for my book bingo. 600 pages or more I have not read. More than 2 authors, no. A book that has been banned. Very award winner, written by a celebrity. I think that's all. I can't really update that. I have not read The Wedding People, so I cannot update my rule, my read. Bad guy POV. I think we're going to go ahead and put walking practice for this because the changeling alien who eats people is the character that we are following in walking practice. And I have not filled this in because I did not want to spoil anything, and a lot of times the bad guy POV is a spoiler, but in this case it's not, so I went ahead and filled it in for that and officially completed the thriller challenge with you right now. Haven't read anything for Oprah, and I'm not interested in adding anything else. Same thing with Good Morning America, or Kayla's Bestie Book Club, or my middle grade March stuff that's left over. I do need to update quite a few of my buddy reads with the thumbnails, but I have to wait until the very end to wrap this one up. Let's see if any more of the blurb game titles are on here that I read this month. I did not. Summerween is over. I am reading Blood on Her Tongue for my friend Jen's book club, Literary Love 123. So that I will read this month. I will finish reading this month. I'm almost done with it. I have maybe 10 more pages to go. Big Books of Summer. I do need to add We Love You Bunny. Let me double check that I don't have that one here printed double. Okay, so I will be adding here. So I went ahead and added We Love You Bunny on there. I have not done anything for the Sell Your Soul. I think this is officially kind of over. And that's pretty much it. Oh my goodness, guys. So this is looking so full and complete. And yeah, that was my wrap up for November. I can't believe I'm only going to live in this journal one more month and then time to start a new one. So thank you guys so much for watching my November wrap up. Next month will be my last. Again, if you want more journaling content, please watch all of the videos that I have been putting forth about setting up my journal. I have been really prepping. I started early. I think in October, and my journal's looking pretty good. Please make sure you watch those videos so that you can see how my new one is going. I'll probably, after you see this video, within a day or two, you will see yet another installment of setting up my 2026 reading journal. As always, thank you guys so much for being here with me. Thank you for liking. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. I really appreciate it. If you have not been caught up with all of my announcements, I have a new Discord server I launched. I have a new book club starting in January. So many great things happening in my channel. And I want to thank all of you for making that possible. So join the Discord, make plans to start reading with me in my book club in January, and watch all of my setup videos if you are interested in setting up your very own 2026 reading journal. I appreciate you guys so much, more than you know. I will catch you in my next video. Bye!